Okay, today we are looking at the LG Optimus Ultimate. This is the latest Optimus phone offered by Straight Talk. This is a GSM device, 3G, so you'll be able to activate this with either AT&T or T-Mobile depending on your calling area. Now the main thing on this phone is basically the size of the screen. It has a 1 gig processor, 2.5 gigs of built-in memory, and it does come with the 4 gig SD card. And it goes for around $249.99 on the Straight Talk website. And as I said, the highlight on this phone is basically the screen size. So this is a fairly large phone. It's pretty typical for the Optimus or the new Optimus or newer Optimus line that Straight Talk is selling. And right now this is the only higher end Optimus being offered. I think before this you had the Showtime, but I don't think that one's available right now. So if you want a higher end Optimus device, then this is the one that you'll probably want to get. Now to start off with, as I said, the screen size is fairly large. It measures 4.3 inches or thereabouts. So we'll go ahead and measure that for you. So as you can see there, 4.3 inches as advertised. Now it's a fairly long device. Or at least tall. Tall device. It measures approximately 5 inches tall, a little bit less than that. The width is about 2.6, and it's fairly slim. It only measures about 0.35 thick, so while it is fairly large, it is pretty slim. Now this is nowhere near as large as, say, the S3 or the S4, but it does give you a pretty good screen size for the price. Now remember that the Galaxy is basically $400 on Straight Talk. This one is $249, so that's what $150 less. Now it does come with Android 4.0.3, which is still ice cream sandwich. And we'll go ahead and show you that. So Android version 4.0.3, and you might also see this phone referred to as LGL96G, as you can see. Now the weight on this one is advertised to be approximately 4.3 ounces, so we'll go ahead and measure or weigh that for you. So as advertised, 4.35 ounces is the weight. And as you might expect on most of these, or as is typical on all of these, the layout is pretty much the same as all the others. If you've watched any other videos on the Optimus phones like this one, you got the volume on the upper left, the power / lock button there, your typical 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. This does not have a dedicated camera button, and of course the charge button on the bottom. Now the buttons at the bottom, these two are capacitive touch and they are backlit. You can adjust that to remain lit longer if you want. This middle one here is a physical push button, but it's done fairly nicely because it doesn't stick up off the body or off the face of the phone. So as you can see, it's kind of inset there. So it's basically flush with the face of the phone, which is nice. Now on the back, of course, you have your 5 megapixel camera, and it does have an LED flash. One thing to keep in mind with this particular phone is that the camera, as you can see, sticks out, or the lens sticks out just a little bit off the back of the phone. So you'll probably want to get a case for this. You don't want to lay this on the table or anything because you'll probably scratch up the lens. Now the back, it's got the textured battery cover. It's this one on this phone and on all these Optimus phones. The battery cover is fairly easy to take off and put on, as you can see. And like I said, it does have a 4 gig memory card. For some reason, the last few phones that Straight Talk has sold, or the last few new phones that they've offered, aren't coming with these cards, but this one does. So that's always a good thing when you can get a free card, or at least what looks like a free card. And on the looks department, this one is fairly straightforward. There's not a lot of bling on this one, if you will. The bezel around the screen, it's kind of like a charcoal gray, almost like a black chrome kind of look, though it's hard to see. And you got some of that same trim across the top. So this is a fairly straightforward phone as far as looks go. It's not flashy at all, but it does look pretty good. Not something you're going to be embarrassed to carry. Now on the apps, this one is fairly typical. Of course, you can download apps via the Google Play Store. If you're not familiar with Straight Talk, you're not limited to what you can download. Of course, you will need a Google account to download stuff, but you can download any free or paid apps that you want. Now, of course, it does have Wi-Fi, as pretty much all the smartphones have these days. And as I said, this is 3G, so it's not 4G or LTE or anything like that. So there you go. There's your app store. You can download anything you want, and everything works great on this phone because Android 4.0 is really good about performance, and it does have a 1 gig processor. Of course, you also get YouTube, as you would expect, Google Maps, navigation, and all the other standard stuff that 4.0 comes with, Google Chrome, Gmail, etc., etc. So this is a really good phone for the price. I'd say that right now, if your budget allows for a higher end phone, short of the Galaxy, this is probably the best one right now. And as far as the Optimus, if you like this look, or if you like the LG Optimus look, the real square look, then this is probably the best phone right now that they have. Last I checked, as I said, they did not offer the Showtime, which I think is a little bit cheaper than this. So other than this, the only other Optimus phones that they have right now is the Logic, and that's a real entry-level phone. So if you want something that's fairly powerful and that you can do just about anything with, then this is probably the one to get. One thing I forgot to mention is that this does have a front-facing camera, as you can see there. And that's really all there is to say about this one. Again, all the standard Google stuff. Fairly large screen, a 4.23 or 4.3, sorry. Yet it's still, small enough to put in your pocket if you need. It's not a huge phone by any means. So if you're in the market for a new Android Straight Talk and you don't want something that's entry level and your budget allows, then this, I would say right now, is the phone to get.